My name is Timothy Hall. I'm 45 years old. I have 5 children, and I also have 1 aborted child. When I was in university, I met a beautiful lady, and we fell in love, and we started planning our future together and hoping that we would become married soon and just enjoy our life together. And we decided that since we were going to get married, we might as well start living that way. And that included sex. And just in a few short months, that changed everything. She immediately left our house. She left town. She went home to be with her parents, and she completely avoided me. For 3 months, I didn't hear about how is she doing? And I was wondering, where's the love of my life? We had all these plans. But I remember the day where she called me, and I can still picture the room where I was sitting and everything about it 25 years ago. And what she said to me on that phone call changed my life, because what I thought was going to be my future, she said, "No, I want you to know that you have been a father for 3 months, and I realized I didn't love you enough to have your children. So I made the choice to abort our child." Now, growing up, I had a wonderful dad, I had a wonderful mother, and so I knew that someday I wanted to be a father too, because I had good role models. I was very fortunate. And to have that future ripped away from me was a huge wound in my body and in my soul. And from that point on, it started a very destructive spiral in my life. That rejection, it forced me to close up. The real person went into hiding. So I put on a mask, and so other people didn't know how much I was hurting. To look at me from the outside, you think, oh, super guy. But on the inside, it was a completely different person. That guilt and that shame of what I had put her through, I forced her to make a very difficult decision, and I felt guilty about that. And I wanted that child. That was my child too. And just a pause here, sorry. I tried to hide the anger and the guilt and the shame because I was rejected. The love of my life was torn away, and the future of having a child seemed at that moment completely gone. And so I was angry, and I felt ashamed about it. That forced me to go into a very dark depression. I started looking at pornography, not casually, but very intensely, and it became an addiction to me. And of course, in pornography, there's no rejection. I had so many questions about who this child would be. Would it be a boy or would it be a girl? What would he or she look like? Would she look like their mother or some like me? Would she be active? Would she be sporting? Would she be cute? And all these things that questions haunted me for years. And I had no way to get these questions out and to solve these answers, to answer the questions that were very important in my life. And without an avenue, without the available conversation, like what we're trying to do now, it was very devastating for me. I was very fortunate to find people that have made their choices of abortion too. So I found a safe space where I could open up and share these intimate feelings, these struggles, with other people that had shared similar circumstances. And finding out that there were other people that were also struggling, it helped me feel much better about myself that it was okay to struggle, that it was okay to grieve this loss. I mean, abortion is a loss that must be grieved. It must be processed like any loss. You know, you lose a job, someone steals your money, or you lose a loved one, a parent or grandparent. It's a loss that must be grieved because that pain will always be there. That hole, that soul tie will always be there until you grieve and until you forgive yourself and until you forgive your partner at that time. Then you can become free, and then you can be free to enjoy life, enjoy the relationships that you do have. Now I have 5 children, and I'm fully free to invest my heart in them and love them unconditionally because I can love myself now. I still think about the moment, what she was going through, what thoughts may have been going through her head. And what I would say to a lady that's facing this at this moment is to make sure that you get all the information. So you deserve to know the consequences of making whichever decision you make, whether it's to keep the child, maybe it's to abort the child, but you need to know that there are consequences, good and bad, for your choices. And to know that there are people out there that will help you, that will support you, that you're not alone. I know the pain. I know the guilt and shame that you're dealing with. But there is hope. There are people that will love you unconditionally. You can be completely yourself. You can take off the mask and people will love you for who you are. You don't have to be ashamed of your decisions.